The Eagles have been made fun of a lot recently for passing up on some fantastic receivers 2 years in a row and taking guys who really haven't panned out yet. I'm talking 2 years ago when they could have had DK Metcalf, but instead they took JJ Arcega-Whiteside 7 spots earlier. The very next year, they chose Jalen Reagor 1 spot ahead of Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings were public laughing at the Eagles. That could not have felt good. But this doesn't stop the Eagles. They made another early round wide receiver selection, traded up with the Cowboys to get the Heisman Trophy winner, DeVonte Smith. So have the Eagles done it again? Did they choose another receiver that will have much less success than the other guys in the draft? Well, that's what we're going to explore in today's video, and we're going to break down Devonte's game, see if he's going to have success in the NFL, and tell if he's a boom or he's a bust. But why are we even questioning this? We're talking about the Heisman Trophy winner here, an award that goes to the most impressive season of all of college football, an award heavily dominated by quarterbacks and running backs. Wide receivers have a really hard time winning this because let's say even they have 2,000 yards receiving. That probably means the quarterback had 5,000 yards and it's likely going to go to them. That's why it hasn't happened since 1991. Well, we have to talk about it because he wasn't even the first receiver taken off the board. There's a major concern with his size, not being the tallest guy, but more importantly, only being 165 pounds. Is there merit to this? Did the Eagles do it again? The first thing we need to talk about Devonte's game is we don't talk about this nearly enough with receivers. We rave about Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, and Tom Brady for being smart quarterbacks, but what about smart receivers? Devonte Smith is a brilliant receiver, and the tape shows over and over how he understands the position at such a deep level, even though he may be limited by size. What good is 4.3 speed and good route running if you can't tell what coverage the defense is in, or the tendencies of the guy guarding you, or you run the routes the same way every time, you don't set up little traps throughout the game to burn them later with a double move? If you saw how many wide open touchdowns Devonte had, it was unbelievable, and it also wasn't a mistake. Since 2019, Devonte had 51 catches over 20 yards. That's 17 more than any other player in college football. For people questioning how fast he really is, I'm just going to throw the tape in their face and ask them if it even matters. But even that being said, I do think he's a 4.4 kind of guy. Larry Fitzgerald is a smart receiver, playing well into his 30s. He is able to outsmart the defense, find open spots, and have the most sure hands imaginable. Devonte Smith is a quarterback's dream. He understands leverages, he knows coverages, and he comes back to the ball. And at his time at Alabama, he had Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones at quarterback. So it's not like he was able to build rapport over years and years with these guys. He made all of their lives easier, and he's just an easy guy to throw to. And if he's not open, he does make contested catches. That is an underrated part of his game. He actually has some insane grabs where he absolutely mosses the defender. Before we talk about his size, we need to talk about his route running a little bit more in detail because honestly, it doesn't make that much sense to me. He's a long strider and it looks like he's moving a lot slower than he actually is, but what you want is you want short, choppy steps because it's easier to break down and turn on a dime. Devonte has some of the best route running of any college receiver that I can recall. It is so advanced. He absolutely torched every corner week in and week out in the best defensive conference in the nation. Going against J.C. Horn, he got the better of him. Derek Stingley from LSU, you know that guy, the best corner? Yeah, he put up 211 yards when he was guarding him. He's able to be a long strider and come in out of breaks and change directions like a Tyreek Hill. It doesn't make any sense, but he gets it done. Now let's talk about his size because size is important. If size wasn't important, there wouldn't be a 3-year college eligibility rule and I would still have a girlfriend. The NFL are grown men trained on the field to lay hardest hits as possible, so being undersized can be problematic. Being a Heisman, there are obviously very few flaws in his game, but wherever corners did win a rep, they gave Devonte a hard time. It was when they got their hands on him on the line and gave a good jam. That's pretty obvious. Any receiver was going to get thrown off their rhythm or be off timing if they get pressed, but since Devonte is so light, he had a hard time overcoming it and he kind of gets washed out of the play altogether. And to me, this has a very simple solution. I was trying to research if the Eagles were planning on doing this. I couldn't find anything official, but to me it makes so much sense for him to play in the slot. You know how much Tyreek Hill gets pressed at the line? Never, because he always starts off the line or in some sort of motion. This is where you want your best route technicians to be, and it takes away his only weakness of physicality at the line. He is such a good route running and is equally good at outbreaking routes as he is in breaking routes. Playing from a more centralized area on the field, there's no contact allowed down the field, so Smith is going to have a slot corner or a linebacker or safety covering him if they're playing a zone. Devonte, as smart and as smooth as he is going to thrive in the slot. However, I have no idea if the Eagles intend to use him this way, but it just makes way too much sense to me. And don't get me wrong, he can play on the outside, but this is always a counterpunch if a team is finding success with the Heisman. The Eagles do have a new offensive coordinator, so we'll see if he watches this video and takes my advice. So the real question, is DeVonte Smith a boom or a bust? We can't really compare him when asking this to Jamar Chase, Waddle, or Pitts because they were taken in front of him. That's kind of what the Eagles were talking about. But we have to look at the Eagles passed on like Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore, Rashad Bateman, Terrence Marshall, De'Ami Brown, guys like these. And to me, the Eagles absolutely made the right move. We see teams have a lot of success drafting amazing receivers in the second and third round, but it's really hard to pass on a Heisman. The tape screams elite receiver, and I think he's going to be in a very good situation with a quarterback he's played for and an offensive-minded head coach. I don't think the Eagles did it 3 years in a row, and they might even be laughing at the other teams for letting this guy fall all the way down to 10. The last thing I want to talk about to you guys is injury, because this is going to be so hard to predict, and I don't want to come on this channel and talk about injuries and whether I think he's going to get hurt or not. I really hate that. Kind of gives it a bad vibe, but also you have no idea. Tell me why Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten hurt. He runs the ball more than anyone. As someone that's bigger and runs the ball like 2 times a year, Jimmy Garoppolo can't put 2 series together without getting hurt. It doesn't make sense. You can't really say a guy's going to get hurt or not. I really don't like that. If you want to say that in the comments, like, maybe, but it's just not something I want to base it on. I don't want to think someone's going to get hurt. I just don't like that. But let me know what you guys think about DeVonte Smith. Is he a boom or a bust? I think I'm going to expect a lot of good things from him. Let me know what you think about the video. Make sure to leave a like if you liked it. Make sure to comment down below what you think and how the Eagles are going to do this year. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. You guys are awesome. I really have a fun time making these videos for you. I will see you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.